Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. By the video title, this video is about where would Derek Carr be traded next season. In my opinion, I feel like there's three teams that'd be a best fit for Derek Carr. Look at teams like the Colts. You look at a team like the Saints, and you look at a team, which is my pick, is the Panthers. You look at Derek Carr, just like overall, I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback still. Before the season started, I did my QB ranking. I'm gonna do another QB ranking for the next season start too. I ranked him number 10 quarterback. I think he might have dropped down a little bit because I know Trevor Lawrence is on the move now and he's on the uprise, so he might be in that top 10 now. And I think maybe Derek Carr might have dropped out a little bit. Kyler Murray may have dropped down a little bit because injuries and stuff like that happen like that. But I feel like Derek Carr is still a good quarterback. I always have a list how I grade the quarterbacks. I always say, okay, not playable, backup, solid, good, and elite. I feel like Derek Carr falls in that good range, like that. And I think Kirk Cousins and the Jimmy G's, I put them in a good range too, but I put them like in a little below that, like a lower tier. So Derek Carr be up here. I think Derek Carr is better quarterbacks than those type of guys like that. But Derek Carr is still, I think, more enough to help some of those teams I mentioned earlier to win. You look at a team like the Colts. The Colts are in a division where it's still very competitive in the division a little bit. The Titans lost 7 straight. The Titans still have Mike Vrabel as the coach, and they still got Derrick Henry. They still got a nice defense. They just got to get their quarterback situation going on and getting right like that. Maybe Malik Willis, they can develop him. He wasn't ready last year, but maybe they can develop him and they can get him back to that level. And then you got the receivers. Well, maybe add another receiver there. Robert Woods supposed to be another guy. They're supposed to be adding to be a secondary guy for them too. But he hasn't. But he's injured and all the stuff that's happening. So the Titans are still a good team, though, I feel like. And you look at the Jaguars. They're on the rise. Trevor Lawrence had a great year. They won a playoff game, and then they're getting Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is coming next year to the Jaguars. They traded for Calvin Ridley, so they'll have Calvin Ridley. They're gonna have Zay Jones, who played tremendous football, who's a former Raider, and they're going to have Christian Kirk. So they have all those type of weapons. They have Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk. You gave Trevor Lawrence all those type of weapons, and then you got Travis Etienne. Everett Ingram was playing amazing late in the year. So they got a nice team over there too. So they're going to be still a very competitive type of division. Texans, I don't know what the Texans are going to do. Texans organization has been terrible ever since Bill O'Brien did what he did. He came in there and messed everything up. Traded DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. Messed his growth up a little bit too, and he did a lot of bad things. Because if I don't like coaches being GM and coaches, just be one or the other like that. And he was both. He was a coach and a GM, and he did some bad trades, some bad decisions, and just some bad stuff. And the Texans organization have been paying for that and paying for those decisions and those mistakes of Bill O'Brien for the past 3-4 years. I think last time I remember they was in the playoffs, they was up on the Chiefs, and then they blew a big time lead on the Chiefs and stuff. And that was a good playoffs because they won the first game. Remember, Deshaun Watson hit that little spin move, breaking from the linebacker and then throwing the ball and stuff like that. But the Texans haven't been good since that was like 2017, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2017. Yeah, 2017. That was the year that the Patriots advanced to the Super Bowl, I believe. So they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But yeah, it's just been bad for the Texans. So if he goes to the Colts got a nice offensive line, solid offensive line. They got some good defense still, and they have some receivers. They got Michael Pittman Jr., they got Alec Pierce, you got Paris Campbell and stuff like that. Mo Ali Cox, that's 6'9". He used to be a power forward in college. I remember he played basketball. I forgot. Did he play for Purdue University? He played somewhere in college. I forgot. But he was a power forward in college though. And he's like 6'8", 6'9", it's like that tight end. But and of course Jonathan Taylor too as well. But I feel like the better bet is for Derek Carr to go to the NFC South. Is because you look at the Saints. The Saints think got a lot of weapons too as well. But I don't think that's the best fit for him in the NFC South. I think the Panthers is the best fit because you look at the way that the Panthers are set up, they're on the rise. The Saints on the decline a little bit because of the injuries. Michael Thomas hasn't really played. He played a couple of games this year. I think he played the first 2 games and he got injured again. It's been a lot of injuries for him. Jarvis Landry been injured. Alvin Kamara had some injuries, and the head coach is a defensive-minded coach, and he struggled too with the coaching wise and stuff. The defense, has his moments being good, but then sometimes they fall off. The Saints offense did put some big time points. So you got Chris Olave. Chris Olave is gonna be a nice player, gonna be a very good player at that. But I don't feel like Derek Carr be a great fit there. I think he still do well, but I think he'd be a better fit with the Panthers. You have Frank Wright as your head coach. He got signed as the head coach a couple weeks ago, and he actually was a good coach. He was a good coach with the coach. He just got to deal with a bad hand. He was like, okay, I got my team finally put together. We got our quarterback and stuff, and then Andrew Luck retired. Andrew Luck retired. He said he was battling a lot off the field because being injured and missing 600 days of football and doing the rehab. He said going doing rehab and training, doing kind of repetitive stuff, and kind of got in a depressed state, and he retired like that. Now, I had no problem with Andrew Luck retiring, but I know some of the teams, people were saying that they had no problem with it. They just wish he would have did it at before the season happened, before the stuff happened, it got close to it. But I feel like, if it's something that's come upon you like that, if it's something mentally in you, you can't really decide when it's gonna happen, or the decision be made. And if he had this decision already written in his head that he was gonna retire, I think he should have probably did it earlier. But if he just came out the blue, he's like, I can't do this, I can't do the season out of nowhere, then you can't blame him for that. But that kind of messed the trajectory up of the coach, because Frank Wright was like, dang, I had my quarterback and everything, I was ready to go like that. And then you see how they went from with the coach, they was 11-5 like that with Andrew Luck, and they won one playoff game, and they lost to the Chiefs in the second round that one year. And then you see the following year, Jacoby Brissett, they missed the playoffs. They didn't get Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers didn't get to 12-4 or something like that. 11-5 or 12-4, and they fall short to that. And the first round gets the Bills, and then you see how things just started on the decline, and it just got bad. It got too hectic. Now it was still competitive though. I think it was still borderline playoff team like that, but it just wasn't enough like that. Carson Wentz was a bad experiment, and then after this year, Frank Wright he got fired as the head coach, but now he's back. Now he's with the Panthers. The Panthers I feel like are in a better position than the coach anyway, because you look at the defense. Defense played amazing this year. I would say they had a lot of good games. They were playing good, and they came close to actually winning the division. And coming to the season, no one had the Panthers doing anything special. I had them probably win 4 or 5 games, but they came close to winning the division like that. And we've seen the Buccaneers win the division with only 8 wins. So if you get Derek Carr, and the Buccaneers are gonna lose Tom Brady, and they probably gonna lose some pieces. And you get Derek Carr to the Panthers with the run game was nice. They rushed for 200+ yards for 4 or 5 times last year. And then you get that amazing defense they got going. The defense getting there. Brian Burns and those guys and those cornerbacks they got. J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson and stuff like that. Those guys going to be nice. You got the Bengals. I mean, not the Bengals. The Panthers going to be nice. Going to be a big-time team. I feel like they'll be a team to be able to win the NFC South. Because the NFC South, of course, you got the Falcons. I like the Falcons coach and stuff, the way the Falcons trying to do some stuff. But they just need the quarterback situation to be answered. Desmond Ridder did look pretty good. He looked pretty good later in the year. Maybe he's the guy. Maybe they let him get the offseason, the first team reps and stuff, and try to build up on that. Drake London and stuff and those guys. But I feel like if Derek Carr gets to the Panthers, he'd be the best quarterback in the division by a good margin. And he also will be on the best team, make the Panthers team the best team in the division. And with Frank Wright there, I feel like they'll click easily, and it'd be nice it'd be a nice offense, and they just make some big time plays. DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, all those guys are there. And that'd be nice. That'd be a nice addition for the Panthers. I don't know what it would cost to get Derek Carr to go over there. I don't know what the draft pick's gonna be. Most likely, I'll say, because Derek Carr, 30 years old, 30, 31, maybe around that range. I say the draft cost would probably be maybe, I say a first rounder, and that's it. Maybe a first rounder straight up, and that's it. That first rounder straight up. If you ask them, they'll be a first and the fifth or the sixth, but maybe a first rounder straight up might do the job like that. Or you can find a way to get out of that. Maybe you say, hey, I give you a second and a third, and I give you next year fifth or something like that. Maybe you could do something like that. I don't know, but they gotta find a way to get Derek Carr there, because their team is already kind of positioned like that, and they'd be able to win the division like that. And they use some of those draft picks, and they use some money they got. Well, and actually, their money got a little tied up because they paid some crazy contracts to those quarterbacks they had. Because they had the Teddy Bridgewater, they paid a crazy contract to. Sam Darnold, they paid a crazy contract to. They should have probably waited on those guys. But I feel like Derek Carr will be the best quarterbacks they had since Cam Newton was healthy there like that, and they'll have a big time chance, and it should be favored to win that division. But that's all I got for the video today, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think where Derek Carr should be ended up at. Maybe he goes to the Colts, maybe he goes to the Saints, maybe he goes to the Panthers like I think, or maybe he goes somewhere else. Maybe the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers somewhere else, and then you see him in Green Bay. You never know what can happen. NFL is very crazy, and we've seen crazy things happen in free agency in all type of sports. So we're going to see some probably crazy stuff happening this free agency as well. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.